Hello friends, and happy Easter. I miss you all very much, and I wish we could be together on this Easter Sunday, but I've gotten my little flower crown ready to go to celebrate Easter, and so if you want to dress up at all for this lesson, you can pause the video here and go grab anything that you feel like is going to make it feel more like Easter, but you can pause. Today we are going to be finishing up our Easter, Mystery of Easter lesson. I'm just going to put you down there. But first, we're going to sing our gathering song. So go ahead and take a breath. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. In the beginning, the baby was born. God chose Mary to be the mother of God. When the baby looked up into the face of the mother Mary, he already saw the cross. When he looked into the face of the father Joseph, the cross was there too. The mother Mary and the father Joseph held the baby very close, and they began to grow. The baby grew and became a boy. When he was about 12 years old, he went with the mother Mary and the father Joseph to the great city of Jerusalem. But when his family started on the road towards home, Jesus was not there. Mary and Joseph hurried back to the great city of Jerusalem to find him. They looked everywhere. Finally, they looked in the temple, and there he was. He was talking to the rabbis. Mary and Joseph asked Jesus, "Why did you do this?" And Jesus said something very strange. He said, "Didn't you know I would be in my Father's house?" Mary and Joseph did not understand, but they did not forget. Jesus grew and became a man. When he was about 30 years old, he went to the river Jordan and asked his cousin John to baptize him. Jesus went down into the darkness and the chaos of the water. When John lifted him back up into the light, there were people there who said that they had seen a dove come down from heaven and came close to him. There were also people there that day who heard a voice, and the voice said, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased." After Jesus was baptized, he went on across the river Jordan into the desert to discover more about who he was and what his work was going to be. He was there for 40 days and 40 nights. There was little to eat or to drink. One day he heard a voice. It said, "Why don't you turn one of those stones over there into bread and have something to eat?" And Jesus said, "No. To be a real human being, we need more than just bread to eat." Suddenly it was as if Jesus was on top of the great temple in Jerusalem, and the voice came back. "If you really are the Son of God, why don't you jump and see if God sends the angels to catch you before you hit the stones below?" And Jesus said, "No, we do not need to test God." Then it was as if Jesus could see all the kingdoms of the world, and the voice came back again. "If you will follow me, I will make you king over all of these kingdoms." And Jesus said, "No. I am to be a king, but not that kind of king." And the voice went away again. Jesus went back across the river Jordan and began to do his work. But what was his work? His work was to come close to people, especially the people no one else wanted to come close to. He came close to a blind man. He was so close that he touched the blind man's eyes. When Jesus came close to people, they changed. They became well. Jesus also told parables. And finally he knew that he had to become a parable. So Jesus entered Jerusalem for the last time. He was riding on a borrowed donkey. Still, that Sunday when Jesus came to Jerusalem, people waved palm branches, which was a sign of kings. On Thursday, Jesus and the 12 went to an upper room and shared their Last Supper together. After they had everything they wanted to eat, Jesus took some bread and gave thanks to God for it. Then he broke it and said something like, "Whenever you eat bread like this and share it, I will be there." He also took a cup of wine and gave thanks to God for it and said, "Whenever you share a cup of wine like this, I will be there." What was he talking about? He was always saying things like that. How could they know? Still, they would not forget, and later they would understand. Suddenly Judas got up and left. The rest went to the Garden of Gethsemane and the Mount of Olives. Jesus wanted to pray. When he finished, he joined the 12, but Judas came out of the dark and greeted him. This was a signal for the temple guards to take him. They too came out of the shadows and took Jesus away with them into the night. The 12 disappeared into the darkness as well. The night was a confusing one. The next day, Jesus was taken outside of the walls of the city and crucified. That afternoon, Jesus died. The sky grew dark, and Jesus was taken down from the cross and buried in a cave. A great stone was rolled into the opening of the cave to close it like a door. Saturday was so quiet you could almost hear the earth breathe. On Sunday, it was just the women who had the courage to go to the tomb to be close to Jesus. They wanted to remember, even if it was sad. When they came to the tomb, they found that the stone had been rolled back, and the tomb was empty. Jesus had died on the cross, but somehow he was still with them as he is with us, especially in the bread and the wine. There's a beginning, and a middle, and an end. But the ending is also a beginning. And so that way, the story goes on forever. Now, I wonder what part of the story you liked best. You can pause the video here and discuss it. I wonder what part of the story you thought was most important. You can pause the video here and discuss that, what was most important. I wonder where you are in this story. What part of the story is about you? You can pause the video here. I wonder if there's any part of the story that we could leave out and still have everything we need. You can pause the video here. Thank you for joining me on this Mystery of Easter journey, friends. I miss you very, very much, but we'll be together soon. So stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, and we'll talk again soon.